Before we dive in, it's my honor to introduce someone whose vision is shaping not just this division, but the future of commercial real estate across North America. So Cynthia Lee is the president of KW Commercial, an award-winning broker, a mentor, and to so many of us, the driving force behind the culture of collaboration and agent-first leadership at KW Commercial. If you've spoken to any top producers in our commercial real estate network, chances are they'll tell you that Cynthia is the reason they're here and the reason they stayed. So Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us and for always leading from the front.
Of course. Thank you, Oksana. The pleasure is absolutely all mine. I have to say, though, it takes a village. So I don't want to take all of the credit for the growth that we've experienced in KW Commercial, but it really is a team effort. And you're a big part of that. I mean, talk about somebody who lives in both worlds. You're an investor, you're an agent, you're a leader on the market center. You truly understand, what makes a commercial real estate agent remarkable and irreplaceable, right? And so, as our guest, you didn't just join KW Commercial, you really helped build it in Canada. And I'm super excited about just the future alongside with you as a leader. So today, though, I want to share, what you're searching for in the market and how I want to talk about how this platform, this KW Commercial platform, not only gave your career a boost, but could also give others a boost as well. It's a business model that aligned with you, right? We talked a lot about that when I first met you a while back, and just especially from a values and a vision standpoint. And, I think any brokerage or any commercial company is they're going to have standards, they're going to have, platforms and resources and whatnot. But I think what makes us different and special is that values piece. And Oksana, I mean, that was really, I think, what also drove you to us was the values and the vision. So I would love to introduce Oksana Marjanovic. And is it Vich or Vic?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, you have an amazing background. You have a commercial investment firm. You obviously, again, you're an agent, you're a mentor, and most importantly, you're one of the driving forces behind KW Commercial's fast-growing division up there in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. When we first met and you were looking to get connected into a commercial company or brokerage or division, you had the concern of, if I bring my business to KW Commercial, am I going to be seen as a, resumercial? I use the bad word, right? But you were able to overcome that. How?
Well, I always like to work with agents who obviously are genuinely collaborative, right? And they support one another. So somebody who prioritizes the client's success. What's important for me, it's not just about to fill your pipeline, with the sales that are coming in. What I saw is agents who actually truly care about finding, that specific property for that specific business operator. Not just the next best thing that comes along your way. So, and I saw that agents really do take time to find the properties, and if it means to go, somewhere else and collaborate with other agents, they were not afraid to do that. So the unity, the family, spirit was present, and I like that resonated with me. So that's something that kind of speaks, to what my values are and how I was brought up.
And you talked about collaboration. I like that because there really isn't competition. We don't compete against each other in KW Commercial because everybody's running, in essence, their own businesses. But what I also would like to point out from that word collaboration is the fact that in a way it is kind of good that we are seen as an underdog because we have to work sometimes harder to get the attention, to go chase down a property and whatnot. So it's really in our nature, it's in our blood to outwork everybody, right? And I think that's another reason why you fit so well into this, is because you are a workhorse. You don't take no for an answer. You're like, I'm going to go get this done. And that's really the environment that we have within KW Commercial, and what you have fostered there in your own office, in your own market center. And so that's the collaboration piece of it. But there's also the mentorship aspect as well, because you do mentor, right? So, how does that all play together in terms of an agent's success?
Definitely. So mentorship was very important for me because, as I've seen new agents come in, and they were right away presented with, our playbook that was created by you and the team in US. So they knew exactly, where to go, what processes to follow from day one. So they didn't feel like they were on an island, right? They saw that right away there's people in the office that are invested in their success, and they're right there, helping them and holding their hand right through the beginning of the process. We also have an amazing, training and live or recorded sessions on our platform for KW Commercial once you become a member. And then we also, I think the best value from our platform is our weekly meetings in different topics, because I always say to the agents, just because you are not transacting in land, nobody's going to stop you from jumping on a call, that we have with our land specialist, because if you want to learn, that is your chance. Here is your free education. And you're not listening just to fluff. You actually are listening to real day-to-day problems, and how these people are actually tackling these issues, and how they're solving them. So, and you're more than welcome to ask questions. Nobody's going to kick you out of it. So your now knowledge as a commercial agent will expand so much further, because you have an ability to connect with people through the whole North America, and hopefully globally soon, when we start opening the KW offices worldwide, and collaborate with them. For example, as a matter of fact, one of the agents that I was in Idaho with you from Seattle, he reached out to me because I exited my business, and he had a client in food business, also bakery, and he wanted to ask if I have somebody that would like to buy that business. So I do have a person, and we did collaborate. However, his client wasn't still ready to go, and we have him, as a follow-up within 6 months. But that's just one of the examples how the agents can collaborate even within Canada and US. So I think so that's just the platform, but never mind the mentorship that KW Commercial created. We have MAPS coaching website where it talks about so many different ways that the agents or the teams or the leaders can be coached and mentored. We have anybody who wants to do individual coaching, and then we also have somebody who wants to do teams coaching, or very high performing agents, who are transacting, I believe it's 800 GCI. Our Vice President, Alicia Shepard, actually will one-on-one teach them how to get to 1 million GCI. If you follow her program exactly, to the T, and you have to be committed, and, you got to give it all for, I think, 3 months at least, and then obviously implement it in your day-to-day life. So, the level of mentorship in this company is absolutely amazing. And I think the feeling is like, everybody wants you to succeed. Everybody wants you to win. Nobody is looking at this that it's just me. And, I really like that. So people are not, looking at each other as a competition. They are actually building each other up and helping each other.
100%. And I think, and that leads me to this question, because Oksana, you went through all of this exercise when you came over to the company, and you explained, what your hesitations were. And I just told you, look, here's how it is. I know that sometimes it's almost unthinkable and unbelievable that you could be in a commercial real estate environment where everybody does want to collaborate. They want to see you succeed. Like, we want to see our counterparts succeed, all of our colleagues succeed. Now that you are in the company, is it everything that I had described as such as you're describing right now? Like, were you just surprised? Because so many times, we all are made promises, and you go into a company and you're just like, this never happened, right? Or I was lied to, or whatever. They fluffed it up or whatnot. Now that you've made that transition, what has your experience been?
So actually, I did not know probably 80% of the positive stuff that I learned afterwards. And the reason why I didn't know, because there's just so much information that there was no way that a person can actually learn about KW commercial as much as they actually know once you're in it. Because you have to experience the family reunion. You have to go to the family retreat, where you intimately, rubbing shoulders with Joe Williams, the legendary Joe Williams from the Keller Williams.
Yep.
And with you and with Alicia and with all the top producers, the one that we went in Idaho was amazing. So then obviously the summit that's coming up in August. So there's so many different events that you guys are actually creating to make sure that agents do come together. The commercial world is very intimate, and we call it our boys and girls club. We're not going to call it a boys club, so it is a boys and girls club. And people really, once they get to know you and they hear your story, they open up about their story, and it's very nice to actually meet people on a personal level and hang out with them and go for dinners with them and see how other people are collaborating with each other. And one of the biggest things that actually, this is just an example of something that happened. We went to Idaho, as you remember, and we talked about AI, and you had an amazing presentation about AI. And you had a person come in and present to us. And then I reached out to you and I said, Cynthia, I do AI on a daily basis for at least, 5 months fully in it. Like, I spend over 4 hours a day because I love to play with it as a trial and error, and I love to research and I love to educate myself. And I feel like computer is like an endless black pit, of knowledge.
Yes.
Yesterday, I had to walk away because I had a headache. I was just too long on a computer because it never stops. There's just so much information. Internet is so powerful. So I came to you and I said, I actually use AI for commercial transactions on a daily basis. Can I show the agents, what I know, absolutely free of charge? I want to share my knowledge, and I want to, make sure that our agents are using the same tools. And you said absolutely, and you gave me, a time and a platform. And since then, for example, our first call, we had a very high participation. As you know, 1 hour turned into 2 hours. Our coach was texting me and said, you need to get off because they will keep you longer there. Then people were asking, when is the next class? In the meantime, since we have a next class already booked, I've already presented in Florida market. And yesterday I was asked to present AI in Midwest market, which is 12 states.
Right.
And Dale asked me to present in her Cree Academy in July. So, it's one thing led to another. We just have such a huge opportunity to collaborate, to showcase what we know, and to try to teach other colleagues of ours how can they take the same knowledge that you have and apply it into their everyday business. Because AI is here to stay, and as I always say, if you're not getting on a train, you're going to be left in the dust.
That's right. That's exactly right. Which reminds me, if you do plan on going to Summit, let me know, because we want to put you on the agenda to talk about AI. You and I can talk about it together if you're going to be in San Antonio.
Definitely.
That's the thing, and it's funny because you read my mind. I was going to bring up that whole thing of that, and I mentioned it to you. I said, listen, we put you on the training calendar. You have AI, right? Just get ready because this is going to be so hot. Are you just floored by how quickly you now have you are now nationally known in the company in KW Commercial with our 2,000 agents. Like, you're now nationally known as the AI gal, right? Like, it's mind blowing, right?
Yeah, I was surprised. Like I said to Glenn, to my partner, I said, do you know how many people after this call have messaged me personally, thanking me, asking me for the presentation? And then, I saw so many responses on our platform under the post as well, thanking me and saying how wonderful this class was. I actually wish there was a big enough computer to see every single one of the faces and the reactions of the faces of when I was showing what I was showing to them. All I saw, because I could only see, like, if you count how many you can see per screen, I think you can see 8. And all I saw was this, like, the whole time. They were floored what you can do with AI. So I'm very happy that I can share this knowledge with everyone in our organization. And I think that we are going to change the commercial real estate. We are going to revolutionize it, the same way that Gary Keller revolutionized when he came along, and when Remax disturbed the industry, and then now Keller Williams disturbed the industry. The same way we are going to disturb the KW Commercial. With KW Commercial, we're going to disturb the commercial industry.
That's why when I met you, how many times did I say, you're our gal? You are the person. You're going to love this organization, because it's exactly what you described. I mean, you are living proof of it, of exactly the avatar I said that we look for. And it's somebody who is collaborative, who gets it, who has vision, who wants to be creative in their business. I mean, that's the whole thing, is that we are all transacting commercial real estate at a high level, but we get to do it in our way. We get to have our own vision of what that looks like, right? And that's something that the industry has been missing. We've been kind of stuck in this institutional model for decades, and you and I both have worked in that, right? So we get it. But it's time that we spice it up. And so when I met Oksana, I was like, she's spicy, extra spicy, and we want her in our world. And so I'm so glad that you have now lived what I tried my best to describe, just like we're trying to describe it right now, but you really don't know until you get in the mix. And once you get in the mix, you're just like, whoa, how could this ever exist in the commercial real estate industry? So I'm excited that we're going to be able to share your story, with the world, and get more people to understand that this is a really great place to land. And so we're excited to have you in the company, Oksana. You are on your way to leaving your own legacy. And I think that's my message for everybody who's listening, is that if you want to be in a collaborative environment where you can share your knowledge and you can do whatever you want in your business while creating your own legacy, because it'll be under you, not the company, right? It's your own legacy, that this is the place to be. And you're just such a great example of that.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Cynthia. I mean, I cannot thank you enough, because I think, because of you, I made that decision, and what you've given me a little pieces of what I actually learned now, right? So because, as I said, it's just not enough time in a day to actually explain what the KW Commercial is about. You would have to talk to somebody for a month to actually, and like bring them to these platforms and bring them to these meetings to actually understand it. So, I'd never looked back and said, oh my God, I made the wrong choice. Definitely the best choice I've made, by far. And I'm excited because there are so many opportunities for anybody to grow in this company, whether you are a starting out agent, brand new agent who eager to learn and does not know how, you don't need to be stuck on a team and make a very small amount of money. You actually can learn from the platform, you can learn from the classes, you can do it yourself, and you can have a mentor. We have a mentorship program either within our division, or you can have a mentor even from somewhere else, like, because you can do it virtually right now. Or and if you are a seasoned commercial agent who actually wants to change the way they do business and wants to leave a legacy behind them, or become a mentor themselves, right? Because that's a huge opportunity for somebody who's been seasoned. We have so many new agents that need mentorship. So for those of you who are seasoned, this is your chance, right? And another one is same as me. Like if you have a topic that you see that it's not in a calendar, and if you're a seasoned mentor or seasoned agent and you think that this topic would be hot and it resonated or it taught somebody to transact better and to be a better agent, bring it up to Cynthia, right? And they can definitely give you the same chance like they give to me to teach other people out there, right? What KW is about and how we can change the world together, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. We're so happy to have you on board, and we'd love for anybody else to reach out and let us know how we can explain everything to you. Meet in person. Oksana, what's the best way? What's the best next step?
So the next step today? Yeah. So next step is obviously, book with us the free, no obligation calendar meet, or maybe we can go for a coffee, or maybe I can meet you, in a place somewhere where it's close to your home. Whatever you think is best, we will accommodate. We'll show you, a little snippets of a life in KW commercial, and we can show you about our company, and we can even get you to talk to Cynthia if you like, right? She will be very happy to jump on a call or a Zoom with you. So we would be creating a different life, for you. And I think that it's worth knowing what's out there, right? Like if you are that person who is interested to know what's on the other side of the rainbow, give us a call or book a meeting with us.